The bard Alara was renowned across the Silver Marshes, not just for her melodies, but for the shivers her ghost stories sent down spines. She arrived in Oakhaven, a village nestled so deep in the woods it felt forgotten. A strange quiet hung about the place, like a held breath. The villagers, though welcoming, seemed to move with a nervous caution, their eyes flickering to the darkening corners of the tavern as dusk fell. That night, the tavern was packed, yet hushed. Alara, warming her hands by the crackling fire, tuned her lute. "Tonight," she announced, her voice a low rumble that carried to every ear, "I shall tell you of the whispering specter of Blackwood Fen." She wove the tale with practiced ease. A wraith born of betrayal, a thing of mist and malice that hunted the unwary. As she described its chilling, formless shape and the icy dread it instilled, the air in the tavern grew noticeably colder. The shadows seemed to deepen, twisting into monstrous shapes around the flickering firelight. The villagers, at first captivated, began to shift uneasily. Their initial fear gave way to something else as strange, almost ravenous glint in their eyes. "It would glide," Alara whispered, strumming a mournful chord through the reeds, its breath a frozen mist, seeking something. A low, collective sigh rippled through the room. One elderly woman, hunched by the hearth, began to tremble violently. Her eyes, wide and unfocused, fixed on the empty space beside Alara continued, oblivious to the shift, and when it found its prey, it would consume. As the word left her lips, the trembling woman let out a guttural shriek that tore through the silence. Her skin began to writhe, her bones cracking with unnatural sounds. In the space of a heartbeat, her form stretched and distorted, her features melting away into a swirling vortex of shadow and mist. Tendrils of inky blackness snaked from her dissolving body, coiling into a vaguely human shape that hovered. It was the whispering specter itself, precisely as Alara had described it. The bard's music died on her lips. Her eyes, wide with dawning horror, darted from the ethereal monstrosity to the villagers. Their faces, once filled with terror, now wore expressions of grotesque satisfaction, their eyes glowing faintly in the dim light. They hadn't been afraid of her story. They had been waiting for it. The specter, now fully formed and radiating an icy malevolence, turned its featureless face towards Alara. The low, mournful note of her lute, which had slipped from her grasp, still resonated faintly. Alara finally understood. Her stories weren't just tales of the supernatural. They were invitations. And in this cursed village, her words didn't just entertain. They summoned. The specter lunged. Alara's scream was cut short as the icy mist enveloped her, a new, hungry whisper joining the chorus of the wind outside. The villagers, silent once more, merely watched, their eyes fixed on the empty space where the bard had stood, already anticipating the next